Okay, today is the 6th of February 2018, and I am your humble host, Mark, coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. A different intro. And I'll make a video. I haven't made a video in a while because I've been busy with another project that I'm working on. I'm building a new maintenance shop, and I'll show that at some point. Maintenance is real important to any farming operation. You got to keep your equipment up. And just like everything else, if you take care of it, it will take care of you. So that's but I'm just out here clearing fences, and this is something that I do pretty regularly. If you're new, I fence with a 39-inch woven wire. You can see that brown fence post right there. That's fiberglass. Those are pipes that I get, I scrounge. Fiberglass pipes. Those ones have been around here for quite a long time, at least 10 years. And they get a little discolored, but they don't, the integrity of them doesn't really degrade at all. And I can drive them into the ground, and we've been using them for a long time. That's not something that would be available to everybody unless you live someplace where they are drilling oil a lot, which they do north of me. But you can see I got a 39-inch woven wire there, and then inside of that there's a piece of electric, one strand, and it's up a foot and it's out a foot. And that's the way I've been doing it. It seems to work pretty good. And it was just trial and error how I got to that formula, one up, one out. It seems to work for everybody. Even the little ones, the little babies, when they get about a foot tall, is about when they start to, want to root around at the edge of the fence. And you'll see them, they'll walk under the electric fence, and then they'll back up, and their hairs will hook the fence, kind of. And it shocks them, it pushes them forward, and then they got to come through the fence again. So it's a learning process for them, for sure. But I have had some questions about fencing again, and I don't recall that I ever really went through my philosophy on electric fences, on electric fencers. This area here, there's 30 of them in here. There could be 100 of them in here. And really the key to this, keeping them in, is electric fence. So my woven wire is actually the secondary. The primary is definitely the electric fence. If they get through the electric, then they're going to work on the woven wire, and they can work their way through it. I mean, if you've ever seen that movie Chicken Run, these guys are busy all the time. And it's not like they're organized, like they're trying to break out, but they're so busy all the time. See, I just set that rake down there. And of course, okay, we got to bite the handle. Oh, let's drag it around. You can't have it, I want it. So they're busy, just busy. And that's a healthy pig. See, this is a nice, healthy group right here. They have shiny noses, shiny eyeballs. They're very healthy animals. And they were up before I was this morning. I could hear them out here. So fencing. This is what I'm using right now in this pen. And you can see the status of it. And I'm out here right now to do things like this. Because obviously with the solar collector covered up, we're not going to get any performance out of it. But this one was $300, and I got this from a farm and fleet place that's common here in Michigan. And this particular one is about 6 years old, and I've never done anything to it. From the day it came out of the box, it's been hanging on a fence someplace or other. And we do move them around, because if there's no pigs on this field, then we would move it to someplace where there were. And yep, fencer's working. And you want it someplace where you can easily access it. Like if you're going to come into a paddock or a field, you want it where you're going to get in. So you if you're going to service the fence, you can shut it off. And the way fences work with pigs is they get shocked by them, and then they don't know that it's turned off. So they're going to assume from the smell of the fence that they're going to get shocked again. So they leave it alone. And with good fencers, ones that put out a lot, they rate them by joules. But I kind of go by, like, this fence is made to fence in a field that's, let's see, 30 miles, right? And I have it on, I mean, there couldn't be a tenth of a mile here of fence line. This is about 2 acres, about. Well, 300 by 100. So that's not even 2 acres, that's an acre and something, I think. I don't know. But the fence is definitely hotter than it needs to be. And with pigs, why not? Why not? I paid for this, and if I ever expanded this to 30 miles, I would have a fence that would work. But if they get shocked once and it makes an impression on them, then they will leave it alone. This fence has been covered up, and that's what I'm doing, for a while now. And what they do is they'll root stuff around and they cover it. They cover the fence, and then it snows on it. And before you know, that fence will completely discharge, because the way it works is the solar collector charges the battery, and the battery sits there, and every time there's a shock that happens, you know, a discharge to ground, then it uses up some of that battery. Well, if the wire is laying on the ground covered with snow, it's going to discharge continuously until the battery is dead. But they're not touching this fence, and you can see right here, you see there's the fence, and there's no footprints out here. So it's obviously still working, even though it's covered up. And a good fencer will do that. It'll have enough capacity to carry you through times when, you know, a branch falls over it or they put something over it. Now, I irrigate this field, so I have irrigation pipes that are up against that fence. They're not in use right now, and they're aluminum. And if they get one of those moved onto the fence, it'll discharge in a day, and it'll just wear it completely down. But things like snow and hay and stuff like that, they don't wear it out that quick. Mud will, because it's a direct path to ground. So I would recommend buy the biggest fencer that you can afford, and then you should always try it out yourself. I highly recommend that. You know, just get your feet nice and wet and go over there and just grab right a hold of that fence, make sure it's working. And then you will understand more about why pigs are so impressed by an electric fence. This is no joke. There's places on this farm where I had electric fences 5 years ago, and if I'm walking through there at night, something says to me, wait a minute, and I'll just feel like I'm about to step on a booby trap or something. What is this? Oh, I used to have a fence here. Because I've been impressed several times by electric fences, and it's not good, especially with one like this. This one will knock you down, and you don't want that. I mean, it's not good for you. I'm just kidding. Don't check fences. Never urinate on a fence either. I've never done that, but I knew a guy that did that in a tornado and wound up in the hospital with damaged kidneys. So never do that. Okay, I'll be back with another video. I wanted to go through some going into spring type things, and yeah, so I'll be back here with another video here real quick. This is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.